So we are going to continue with conditional statement in Python, and we've looked at the if statement, the else if statement, or the elif statement. We've also looked at the or operator. Now the and operator. Well, before I continue, I just want to remind you to subscribe to my channel by clicking on the subscribe button below this video, so that at least you encourage me to continue making lessons. And also you get notified when I make new lessons. If you have some good comments or some things you observe, please write in the comment box below for me. Alright, so when we have if rainy equal to true or humidity is equal to true, then this is what you'll do. So let's say now we want to check if it is raining and if it's humid at the same time, and humid. So in this way we are checking that the two are the same, but when we use or, it means that either one of them might be true. So that is basically how the or works. Now the not operator actually works in a different way because it tends to negate what is already there. So when we say if rainy is equal to true, so if we say if not rainy is equal to true, so it means simply saying if rainy is equal to false. So I'm going to remove this humid. So let's see exactly how this not operator works. So if it's raining, take an umbrella, right? Good. So now if it's raining, take an umbrella. If it's not raining, it means that it will come to the second part to check if it is sunny. So let's see, it's raining is equal to true, but let's see that it's not going to print take an umbrella. I'm going to run it now. Let's see how it works. So it says take nothing because it comes to check is raining is true. Yes, but we have the not operator that says not. So if raining is equal to true, then not raining is equal to true, meaning that if raining is equal to false. So that is basically how the AND operator works. So let's go ahead to build our grade sheet that we mentioned. It's really going to be interesting. So we want to have a certain score. We have a score, which can be changed, but let's say score is equal to 50 for now. Let's just allow it to be a particular amount value. So now the first thing we want to check if it is between 70 and 100, right? So what we are going to do, we are going to say if score is greater than 70, right? And score is less than 100. It's less than or equal to 100. So you see that Python is kind of natural when you are using it, because see, we are writing the program exactly the same way we are saying it. So we now assign grade to be equal to A. So in this case, to check whether the score is between 70, greater than or equal to 70, and less than or equal to 100. Alright, so in the next step, we say else. So in this place, we now know that score is not between 70 and 100, right? So the score will be below 70. So we are going to now check if score is, we could write it in two ways. We can say if, let's use the same line, else if. We could say else if score is greater than or equal to 60 and score is less than or equal to 69. So if we do this, it's going to be correct. But one thing you want to know is that once it comes down to this else if part, they know that score is less than 70, right? It's less than 70 or maybe equal to 69 or less. So if we remove this part, it is also going to be correct. So that is one thing I want you to bear in mind. So after it falls through this score from 70 to 100, it means that automatically it knows that the score is less than 70. It means that the score is less than or equal to 69, right? So that is one thing I want you to bear in mind. So after we are going to run it, and we are going to remove this part of the code, and also we run it to see how it works. So between 60 and 69, we have that the grade should be what? Should be B, right? Good. So the next part, else if score is greater than or equal to 50 and score is less than or equal to 59. So the same thing applies here. We can take out this part as well, but let's leave it so that it will be kind of clear. Grade at this point will be what? Will be C. I hope this is very clear. So else, we're also going to check if the score is less than 50, because we say below 50 is equal to D. We could actually just say else, then every other thing is below 50, but I'm going to explain why we need to check it. If grade is less than 50, if grade is less than 50, is it grade or score? Score is less than 50, then the grade will be what? Will be D. And that is fine. So we now have to put the last else statement. Else, we are going to say we are going to print invalid entry, because at this point the grade is not from 70 to 0. So when we are checking for score less than 50, we're also going to check that the score is greater than 0. So score is less than 50 and score is greater than or equal to 0. Is greater than or equal to 0. So in this way, we are sure that we are not going to accept any negative entry by the user. All right. So finally, we are going to print the score is, the grade is, and we are going to use a format specifier. I'm going to use F, and then I'm going to say this percentage sign. If you don't understand this, then look at the other tutorial that talk about working with strings or manipulating strings in Python. So we are going to just put grade here. So this is actually not F, it is S. Yeah. So let's open and close. All right. So now it expects a grade. Okay, grade is not being defined, so grade is equal to. So, all right. So let's see what happens at this point. I'm going to set this one all the way back because it's not bad. All right. So let's run this and try to see if it actually works. If it gives us error, we try to debug. Remember, the strength of a programmer is to be able to debug your programs. So I'm running it now. It says grade is C. Okay, because we have 56 in here. So let me rewrite this program such that let me make some changes so that it will ask the user to enter a grade from a score from the input. So score is equal to, I want the user to enter a score, so I say input and I say please enter a score. Right? So when the user enters a score, that score is a string, is not an integer. So I can just convert it to integer by saying score is equal to int score. So in this way, it will be an integer. So let's look through our program to see if there's anything we are missing out. So we have please enter a score, and it is stored in score variable. And the score in this line, I'm going to put a comment, convert it from a string to a number. Okay, and that is fine. Precisely an integer. All right. So let's now run this program to see if it works. So I'm going to click on run. Let me move this thing upward so that we have some space. Please enter a score. I enter 45. The grade is D. So it's working. I'm going to run again. Please enter a score. I enter 99. The grade is A. So you see it's working. Let's try, let's say we enter a score 60. The grade is B. So it's working perfectly. Let's try to enter an invalid entry and see what happens. So now I'm going to enter 101. So it tells us invalid entry. You see invalid entry, and also it gives an error, and there's an error that is giving us an error. So now I'm going to enter a score, let's say a negative number, -3. So it also says invalid entry, and it gives an error. Let's try to enter something of decimal points that have a decimal point 90.3. So now is a float, not an int, and so it's giving us an error. So let's go and solve all these problems. Let's go and catch all this error in our program. So the first thing I'm going to do is to come here and allow the score to be a float. That is, yeah, let it be a float, right? Fine. So in the same way, if I come here, grade is fine, okay. So I think we are pretty much done. So let's see what happens when the entry is invalid. It says please enter a score, and then when the user enters a score and it's invalid, it should tell us invalid entry. So I'm going to do some error handling. Let me put a try in this place, and then in this place I'm going to put except, and I'm going to say print invalid entry. So I think I've discussed error handling before now. So maybe you try to go through the other tutorial I discussed error handling. So let's see. Try. I'll go ahead to run it. So let's see. Okay, it says score input. All right, so there are some syntax errors. So you can see it says indent expected. So if you are using a try statement, then everything has to be indented. So let's indent all the way to this place. Just indent, and everything is okay. So I'm going to go ahead to run it again. Please enter a score. So I'll enter 56, everything is fine, everybody is happy. So at this point, I'm going to enter something strange, something useless. So it says invalid entry, and it also works. So I'll enter 45.9, 45.9, grade is D. So it recognizes floats or decimal numbers. So the basic thing I would like you to take note of is how to handle errors, right? How to handle errors. So everything here is placed inside a try catch block, a try except block. So this try except block means that if there is something that goes wrong inside this place, instead of the program to crash, it's going to display this message out to the user, telling the user that an error has occurred. So this is the end of the tutorial for now. Maybe we are going to do one more class where we are going to build maybe a guessing game to finalize and strengthen our knowledge of conditional statements in Python. I'd like to thank you for viewing. Remember to leave a comment and subscribe if you've not subscribed, and we'll see you in the next tutorial.